the military appreciation. We're normally here on Saturdays, but today we're here on the final day. Um, Tell us a little bit about what's gone on as far as the tournament so far.
Yeah, we started the tournament really the weekend before with our 5K, which was a ton of fun. Had about 200 people out here, some four-legged friends out here going for a stroll. We had a kickoff concert that night with Club Car and Brett Young downtown, which was incredible. Brett Young was
Which
fantastic.
is a brand new event, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Club Car was very interested in us having a concert, and it's something that we share, a lot of interest in. So we were really grateful to them. Brett Young is a Club Car Onward ambassador, so it was a nice partnership across the board and a really nice way for our clients to enjoy a VIP private experience with him. So it was a blast. And then Monday we started another new event that was probably the sweetest thing I've ever seen. We had a First Tee career day, and had 40 kids out here from First Tee who spent, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours going around the property and learning more about the golf industry as a whole. And really focused on the career development aspect of what we do and our greater industry rather than just the touring professional side of obviously this golf tournament. So that was very, very sweet as well. We had our junior clinic that had 60 kids at it. We had a really, really nice start to the week. It was a blast. It's nice to lead into competition with different community events as people get to be a part of what we do before we even, have a ball teeing off and play starting. So we had a great, great week. Military Appreciation Day yesterday was incredible. Our favorite day of the year. Incredibly grateful to the military for continuing to be such a big part of that day, especially amidst what is going on. It's special every year. Commanding General Costanza was out here, which is, you just can't beat it. So really, really lovely day yesterday, and can't believe we're on Seersucker Sunday already. It feels like this week has gone in the blink of an eye.
I know you spend so long planning this thing, and all of a sudden it's here. And as you just said, it just goes by a lot quicker than you think it's going to. But a big Sunday. I mean, just some well-known golfers, some guys that I know that are pretty close. Sam Saunders, I'm looking. He's already playing the front nine, descendant of Arnold Palmer, his grandson. But this tournament has just grown so much and is so supported by the landings. I mean, that's another thing. You have a lot of people to pull from that want to see these Korn Ferry pros play their golf course.
It's incredible. The Landings Club is a very special place. It's filled with people who want our tournament to be as successful as we do. They care a lot about this tournament being the best on tour. All of that is crucial to our success, to this golf course being in the best shape as possible. They've done a fantastic job. The players love being here and love being a part of it. And really none of that happens without the club's buy-in to what we do and the club's passion for what we do.
Yeah, and I know you've had some local golfers involved on exemption-wise, even though that happened on Thursday when they started. Anyone local was in the field when you first started?
Yeah, they're. I mean, local for us, I'd say would be regional. Besides Reed Lauder,
sure, yeah, right.
Reed in the field, which is exciting. It's nice now to be able to give opportunities that we couldn't in the first few years before Club Card came on. So the ability to give exemptions to local or regional players, all that credit goes to Club Card, and they're very invested in it being regional and us making sure that we're supporting the areas that have supported us. So it's a lot of fun to see Reed out here again. And, Reed's a special young man headed off to Auburn and is going to have a tremendous career.
17 years old, right?
17 years old. He's played in 2 professional tournaments.
Yeah. Pretty special for him.
Pretty neat.
So Sunday, obviously, we're going to, the golfers, some are already out there. The leaders will not be teeing off until probably this afternoon. What's special besides being the final day? What have you got for today?
Seersucker Sunday. It's our favorite day. We hope fans come out in their seersucker and fan contests all day. If you're voted best dressed, you get to take a picture with our champion during trophy ceremony. So I think Championship Sunday is special enough in itself. We've got a lot of guys at the top of the leaderboard. A lot can change today, and I'm excited to see what happens.
One of the things that's amazed me, you have been involved in all 5 years of this tournament, that you are the tournament director. And you went through, I'm sure, a lot of training down at PGA headquarters or tournament director headquarters. What was that like for you? And is this position for you what you expected?
Oh boy, that's a loaded
There-
question. No, I got to tell you, a lot of times people are, I think they're fascinated at the process of putting on a professional tournament. I think the average person probably assumes these things go up and come down in 3 months. And so we get asked a lot, where are you off to next? Or is this your full-time job? And
Yeah, right.
it's funny for us because you probably work 60 hours a week year round.
Yeah,
But
right.
it is what I expected. I think because of the preparation that came through the tours program and what's now the tournament leadership initiative, and that's been really special. I'm incredibly grateful to the PGA Tour for that program. That program changed my life. It changed my career, and it prepared me to step in and immediately run the tournament. I think I would have had a tremendously different experience if I had not gone through that program. So it is what I expected. It is a lot of work, a lot of hard work. We have a very, very strong and special team that work on this tournament. Could never ever do this without them. So it's been a heck of a ride. I still can't believe it's been 5 years. That feels surreal to me.
Yeah.
It's gone in the blink of an eye, and I'm just grateful to still be a part of it and having a blast, and looking forward to celebrating year 5 at the end of tonight.
I remember you and I doing interviews in year 1, and there weren't as many tents, there weren't as many stands, there weren't as many people that came to the tournament, and how it has grown is incredible to me. I know it's probably incredible to you as well. But your team and the volunteers, you could not do this without all the volunteers.
Volunteers are unbelievable. I spent a few minutes this morning over at Volunteer Grab and Go chatting with some of them, and I think what I hate most about my job actually is that I rarely get to go say hi to everybody on site during the
Right.
week. So we have a volunteer play day that we do on Tuesday of this week, and I always say it's my favorite day of the year because I go around and hand deliver lunch so I can say hello and thank you, and just spend some time with them. I often try to put it in perspective that I am one person. Our staff is 15 people at the most that are here during the tournament. There are 650 of them. I mean, you literally cannot operate the tournament without them. We have very special volunteers. We have a lot of people who ran Fortune 500 companies out here who have taken complete ownership over their roles in this tournament, and they're an extension of us. And it's just a lot of special people that help run the tournament, help this tournament be successful and make it possible for us. And they are absolutely the backbone of the entire operation.
Yeah, it's not like you can ride around during the tournament to where they're all staged and say, "Hey, thanks for coming." I mean, you interrupt what they call
yes, I
Corn
can't.
Ferry event.
I can't imagine attempting to get around the golf course
Right.
during competition. It would take hours. So, marshals are a massive part of our volunteer force. There's almost 200 of them. So I think it's the marshals I miss the most, not getting to say hi to, and walking scorers. So there's a volunteer position for almost anything now.
Sure.
Special events to media relations to walking scorers to our green team. I mean, there's something for everyone to do. And it's also been special to watch that grow and to see how it's gotten bigger, better, more efficient. Happy volunteers are our number one priority.
Oh, yeah.
So they're a great group. We're tremendously thankful for them, and looking forward to spending some quality time with them on Tuesday.
And you also have a lot of volunteers who come back every year.
Oh yeah, I was looking at that this year actually, because we also have a lot of first-time volunteers. So I think I'm probably going to misremember it, but I want to say there's been 283 of them that have been with us from the beginning.
Wow.
It's a very, very
almost half.
large number.
Yeah.
And you have standard bearers and some numbers like that in there that are probably always going to change. And then we also had, it was like 160 new or something. Anyway, so
That's great.
It's interesting to look at. A lot of people have been doing it from the beginning. We were talking about that this morning too. Who all's been around since the first year? And I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
There's some faces that I've known since the day I stepped on this property.
Sure. And the relationship, this is the second year for Club Car, and we're going to talk to Mark Raquel here in a minute, but it's special even more so because now you have your major sponsor, and here you are now in year 2. Pretty big step and pretty great for the tournament.
Club Car is the single most important thing that's happened to the tournament since it started. You can only hang on without a title sponsor for so long.
Right.
It's not a sustainable model. It's not something that would have allowed us to play professional golf for a long time in Savannah. And quite frankly, it's not sustainable beyond finances for staff. You just can't do it. So Club Car is incredible. They are a wonderful partner. They have invested in this tournament, invested in our community. They care about the same things we care about. Their leadership are a joy to work with. They feel more like an extension of our team than a title sponsor. I think that's rare. I think a lot of times your title sponsor is looking at you to deliver, which is important, right? And we're going to continue to deliver.
Sure.
But Club Car is an active part of our process. And I think that makes it an even stronger partnership than I probably could have imagined out of the gates. And the people that are a part of Club Car's leadership team are tremendous. I really could never say enough about how important that's been for us, how incredible it's been for us to get to work with them. And we're just really excited for what's next. Club Car opened their larger business to us this year. They've welcomed a ton of their industry partners this week. Those things are so important for them, right? To have that business, but they're also important for us. They're important for economic impact. They're important for supporting the Savannah business community. They're important for supporting this property. So Club Car is a catalyst to our long-term success, and couldn't be doing it without them, and we wouldn't want to be.
Yeah. And do you have, and can you share with us the economic impact that this tournament has on the surrounding area in Savannah?
I can't for this year because I don't know until the back end. But
last year, for
the average Corn Ferry Tour event's anywhere from 1 to 3 million. So what we've really wanted to do is get more granular with how we define that in Savannah.
Sure.
But our budget, for instance, if you take our whole budget, it's about $1.6 million just in the amount of money we're spending there. What we've been very interested in is hotel rooms, right? And where are people staying? We've done some things to better track that this year. So we're very focused on making sure the community understands the impact to the market overall. We want to be good partners to the city, and we want to be good partners to our region.
Well, Cheyenne, I know you have a lot of other things to do besides talk with us, but I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us this morning. Always a pleasure to be with you. And again, year 5, we'll be here for many more years to come. So thanks for being with us.
Cheers to that. Thanks for having me.
All right, you're great. Cheyenne Overby, the tournament director for the Club Car Championship here at the Landings in Savannah. And coming up next, we're going to talk with Mark Raquel, the VP of Sales for Club Car. And then we're going to talk with Scott Justman, who's going to talk to you about maybe some of the things that have happened on the golf course. A couple of them I couldn't believe, somebody missing the cut because of a plug lie and a divot. But hey, as they say, that's golf. So we'll be back with more on the Back Nine Boys Golf Show. Stay with us. And welcome back. We're back at the Club Car Championship at the Landings. We're at the Club Car Suite, which is overlooking the 18th hole, with Mark Raquel, the VP of Sales with Club Car. And Mark, welcome again to the Back Nine Boys Golf Show.
Rich, great to be here. Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to have you. This is really fun. You and I talk and text, during the weeks and stuff, and now we're here at your second year for the Club Car Championship.
Oh, absolutely. It's a great time for us, and we had much more time to prepare and to create a different agenda.
Yeah, the first year was what, just a few months, and
we had about 6 months.
Yeah,
it was a little intense. Yeah.
So you can put a little bit more time into it and do some other things that you probably would have liked to have done in year one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is pretty special for y'all because this is your only sponsored golf tournament that you have on the Corn Ferry Tour.
Absolutely. It's the first time we've ever done anything like this. Typically, most people know Club Car from the back of the scenes, helping grow the game of golf. So this was really stepping out for Club Car, and it's just been an amazing experience all the way around.
Yeah, and this is your second year as the title sponsor. Cheyenne was just talking about how special it is, and I know it's special for them to have you, but it's special for you guys to be able to have this at the Landings and here in Savannah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the beautiful city of Savannah is awesome. We had an opportunity this year to kick off with a charity event. You heard Cheyenne talk about that a little bit, but we also had a pro-am with our supplier base and brought them into the local environment. And we raised a lot of money for the local charities, the sweepstakes for charities, as well as our United Way for the CSRP. So we were really proud to be able to bring them in, give them that experience. It was just a great time all the way around.
Now, that was a great idea to bring your collaborators in here and have a pro-am, and obviously it went well.
Went really good, and they got to engage with the local population here in the Landings. They've been amazing. So they were also, very inviting, but it's an opportunity for them to see how they use the golf cars, how they use their consumer cars, gave them some ideas maybe to come back and help us grow our products and improve them as well. So it was a great experience.
And they also got to play with a pro?
They did. They got a great, not normally, because normally you just play with us. So they got to see real golfers this time.
They saw a little different angle of golf, correct?
They could appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's amazing to me, and I've played in a couple of pro-ams, you have too, and it's amazing to me the talent that these I call them young kids, but that these guys have.
Oh yeah.
It's just, their game is just on another level.
It's impressive just to see how good they are, and you don't really realize it, but they're right on the cusp. They are right there, ready to go into the PGA, and obviously in that top 5-10%, they're going. And it's great to see them compete out here every day.
I keep saying my game is on the cusp, but it is not the same cusp.
Mine's a different cusp too. I'm grateful to have a job. Let's put it that way.
Well, not only do we want to talk about the charity cook-off or aspect of what's going on, you've also been involved in a lot of other things as far as the Landings is concerned, and the tournament. As the sponsor, you have an opportunity. You've given them an opportunity to bring in some exemptions, which is a new addition from the first year, obviously second year as well.
That's right. Yeah, and it's nice. We have an opportunity to bring in 4 exemptions. We had a young man by the name of Eric Flores. Obviously, Reed Lauder won the AJGA. I can't remember what the location was, but that win earned him the other exemption. We brought in Michael, I believe it's, I'm trying to remember Michael's last name. I think it's Rogers, and then also Spencer. So, these folks had an opportunity to come back. So they'd been out for a little bit, maybe had an injury or some other things were going on in their life, and they wanted to get back in. Obviously have a great game, and we have an opportunity to give them an opportunity. So the nice part is we have 2 still remaining in the event, and
awesome.
We're cheering them on. So
yeah, and that's neat.
Yes,
to have an exemption make it to the weekend.
That's exactly right.
That's kind of neat. So Landings Company, a big partner for you, and Onward has been a great idea for you guys to be able to show off that product as well.
Very true. Great success here in the Landings. I remember the first year we came, we didn't really see a lot of Club Car product, but the Landings have certainly embraced, Club Car, their products, and now we're starting to see them throughout their 6 locations. And the people themselves are just great in terms of what they provide us in terms of feedback. So we get great customer voice and again, opportunity to develop the product.
And to show off the Onward and the other products that you have.
We did. We got to show off our Current, which is more of that final mile delivery product, and it's sitting out in the front of the clubhouse. And we've got our tempo walks here, so they get a chance to see that as well as all of our different utility products.
A couple of weeks ago, we talked about the tempo. I just think it looks so cool and would be so fun. But right now, it's not retail. We talked about that. But golf clubs can have them.
That's right.
And rent them out to their members and or guests.
That's correct. And actually here, Scott Justman brought some of those products into their facility here locally, and they've been well used. And I think everybody really enjoys that different experience of golf, right? So you like to walk, you don't like to carry your bag. So this autonomous caddy gets to provide you a 360-degree experience without having to drag your clubs.
That'd just be kind of fun. It goes up and down hills and kind of,
wherever you go, it goes.
Yeah, right.
Just don't go swimming.
I was just going to say, which is good and bad, depending on where you go.
If you're having a bad day and you're heading for the lake, just turn off the
Military Appreciation Day.
Yeah.
I mean, how cool is that in today's world to be able to have an opportunity to really thank the military for what they do?
We are certainly honored to be able to appreciate the brave men and women. And as you said, in these times, really uncertain. But they're out there every day keeping us safe and protecting our lands. And it's nice to be able to do something and work side by side with them. And they were just to listen to them talk about what they do. They were very engaging with the population. They wanted them to understand, what they do every day. Here's our products and what we have to drive around in them. There were some amazing products this year.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. We got to watch the helicopters land in the evening. That's
always neat.
That was the great experience.
Have you ever flown in a helicopter?
No, I don't know if I could handle it.
I did in the military.
You did?
The helicopter pilot was, kind of having fun because it would have been my first time. And I honestly thought the helicopter was going to go upside down, which it can't do. But I was just screaming, "Don't go upside down!" I mean, I was younger then and probably a little bit goofy, but anyway, it was just one of those things.
Yeah.
Military, obviously good, and again, being able to show your products to the people here at the landings, and show what's new and what's available. As you and I have talked before, golf carts have changed.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
even saying golf carts is probably not the right terminology.
It's not. It's morphed into a true what we call PTV, personal transportation vehicle, and it's very different to a golf cart. So it's its own vehicle. And as I shared with you, I like to give a little teaser. There's something on the horizon that's that next level.
So we're still not at that point. We can get over the horizon.
I was so close to be able to do it, but not quite yet.
Come on,
it's coming.
Yeah, but I'm amazed at the evolution.
Yes.
Of the golf cart over the years. Obviously, the last 3 have been even more revolutionizing than prior to.
Yes.
With the phone hookups and the chargers, and you can do speakers. I mean, there's so many things that you can do. The add-on packages, not obviously many for golf courses, but the add-on packages as a personal vehicle are endless at this point.
It is, and we have so many ideas that are on our product roadmap. Technology is now entered into the PTV. So we now have we have that screen up. You can see how fast you're going, what your charge is.
Really?
And soon you're going to be able to get some directions off of that screen too. So much like what you do in your automobile. So a lot of great things coming.
Does that mean air conditioning and heating?
Well, air conditioning, you just got to go a little faster.
No, you just open up the windows.
And drop the window, 20 miles an hour. That's your air conditioning.
And the heat is putting up the window, right?
That's right. Windshield.
So we can't talk about what's on the horizon. But how many golf tournaments, being with Club Car, do you go to over a year?
That's a great question. I'm probably attending anywhere from 8 to 10 tournaments. I was in Corrales last week supporting that tour event, and it was a great event. But it's also nice to see a lot of the folks that come up to the Corn Ferry there, competing.
Right.
So again, we do a lot. We got the Masters coming up next week. We'll be attending, and so the next 4 or 5 weeks are going to be pretty.
So those
strong.
Those 5 to 8 are kind of squashed in between.
That's
where
right.
You've got 3 or 4 like right in a row.
Absolutely.
So what will you do with the Masters?
Well, the Masters, we host customers that over at our host house, not necessarily out on course. Obviously, it's a very private event. And we provide them tickets to go enjoy, but we also sponsor them while we're out there. So we travel with them through the course and just make it a great intimate experience. And then in the evenings, we will have an event at our host house, and they'll come over and visit with us.
And one of the things that a lot of people don't know about Augusta National is how hilly it is.
Oh yeah.
And Tiger was out there last week, and we'll see what happens with that. A lot of speculation, which is probably what he loves and Masters loves. But it's very hilly. I had a lady that was going to go for the first time. She said, "I'm going to wear my most comfortable golf shoes." I said, "I would not do that. I'd wear your most comfortable shoes."
Yes.
Period.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of walking. And last year, obviously during COVID, when they restricted the volume on
Right.
course, they didn't put up all the grandstands. And so it's the first time I actually really got to appreciate the topography. And it's pretty extreme. So you feel it when you walk, but seeing it was absolutely gorgeous. And somebody said to me, it's like stepping back into the late 70s and how it used to be. And I'm sure this year is going to be different. And I'm excited about that. I love the crowd. I think the crowd really was what makes, the whole event take place. So.
But Augusta is one of those places where if you're on Washington Street and you're driving by,
Oh, yeah.
unless you knew it was there, you wouldn't know it was there.
No idea. Yeah.
It's just incredible. Well, let's get back to this. So we've got some, 15 under is leading the tournament, probably maybe somewhere around 19 to 22, depending upon the day.
I think that's a pretty good guess. And as we look out over 18, I can see why this is one of the players' favorites. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's a beautiful day today. The winds are fairly calm, expecting a lot of points to go up today.
Let's see, if I was going out to play today, I'd say, oh man, look at the wind. So, I'd be like the guys Jack Nicklaus used to say, when it rains or when it's windy, I've already beaten half the crowd because they don't think they can play in it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, the other nice thing about this tournament, we had a young man stop by. His name was Matt McCarty. Really nice young kid. He missed the cut, but he was still gracious enough to stop by and say thank you. But he wanted to give back and take some time to talk with the first tee. So it just shows you the level of integrity and character that the folks have here at the Korn Ferry.
Well, Mark, I can't thank you enough for taking time to be with us. Let us stay here in the club car suite overlooking 18. Nice to do that. This is nice. You're nice. I appreciate it.
Time. Yeah,
thank you for
Thank
coming.
You, Rich.
I appreciate it. Mark Raquel, the VP of Sales with Club Car. Second year of their sponsorship here at the Club Car Championship at the Landings here in Savannah. It's going to be a great day. You've got a great field. 15 under is the lead. A couple at 14, so we'll see what happens at the end of the day. But we're going to come back and talk with Scott Justin, the director of golf here at the Landings. So we'll be right back on the Back Nine Boys Golf Show. Scott Justman of the Landings. Scott, welcome and thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me this morning.
It's always a pleasure. As we look out over the leaderboard, we see 15 under, we see 14, a couple seconds. Going to be an interesting final day. I mean, the wind for me would be a big adjustment, but not for these guys.
No, compared to what we had Thursday, it's a pretty calm day, beautiful sun. It's going to be a warm, pleasant day. I think we're going to see some really good scores today.
What was the difference in scoring from Thursday when you had not great weather and a lot more wind to Friday? Was it like a 4 or 5 stroke difference?
We had a break in the action on Thursday, right, because of some weather that came through. But the morning scores, just from morning to afternoon, was about a 4-shot difference.
Yeah.
So that wind blowing Thursday morning, kind of the threat of rain, kept scores. I think we were at 4 under, was the leader in the morning session. And then when afternoon tee times resumed, I think we got to 8 under there on the first day. So those scores were considerably lower. Not a lot of moisture, so that it wasn't that the green softened up. It was just that wind really reduced. So,
yeah, and even the wind that you can hear sometimes in our mics, it's not going to have much effect on these guys because they're used to it. They know how to play in it. It intimidates me, wind.
It's their career. They're professionals.
Yeah.
Right. That's their
all
title.
part of it.
It's their title for a reason. So they know how to do it.
And you've also got a couple of your exemptions that you all had that are still in the tournament, which I think is neat.
It's just a great to bring in community golf. And, one of the players didn't end up making the cut, but Reed Lauder here at the Landings Club, one of our members was in the field. And
isn't that cool?
Great, 17 years old, and had a great following. So a lot of pressure to play in your own backyard.
Yeah, but yeah, it is. I mean, you sit home course, you played Deer Creek. Yeah, I played it a lot, I usually shoot this, but now you're in a tournament. I mean, where you have a cut and he made the cut. So how cool is that for a 17-year-old?
Yeah, it's exciting. And, the membership is just excited to be out here. We had a great crowd yesterday and, really cheering on some great golf we've seen so far.
Well, it looks like the weather is going to be in your favor. A little chilly now, but the leader's going to go off later on the day, and it'll be somewhere 75 to 80. So it's going to be great. But you and I were talking prior to. We talked about that the players this year seem to be using more of the amenities that are around here at the Landings. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Our membership, our member owners are gracious enough to open up their club to the members, to their families, and whether it's dining, whether it's our pickleball, whether it's tennis and court sports or swimming pools, and probably one of the most popular is our wellness center. And we've seen more and more players taking part of that. We had a nice pickleball game on Tuesday night with a bunch of the Port Ferry players were over there.
Did you play?
I did not, but they were over there and took a few courts and we're really enjoying themselves. So it's nice that our members are gracious enough to open up those amenities just to give them a little break from what they do. And Eric Barnes, who was our leader going into yesterday, he brought his family out to the deck, which is one of our family pool areas, and kids were going down the slides, and just really nice to spend some time with family in the middle of their week.
And this is one of the tournaments that Shannon was talking about. It's one of the favorites because it's like Hilton Head. It's like Sea Island with the PGA Tour. They can bring their families, and there's a lot of things for them to do, not only here at the Landings, but around the Savannah area, which makes a big difference to them making a commitment and putting it on their schedule.
It does. And, I've talked to a lot of players who've said it's so nice for them to be able to relax, knowing that their families have activities. They can sit there and they can focus on their work and being out on the golf course and making the shots that they need to make, and knowing that, their family is downtown and enjoying themselves and seeing sights, or they're at the pool, or they're dining at one of our other clubhouse facilities, or they're happy. And I think no matter what profession you're in, if your family's happy, you're happy. So it's a good mix.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point. So some of the players are already out there on the course. As we said, the leader's going to tee off a little bit earlier. 15 under. Prediction, what do you think it's going to take to win?
I think with this weather, I think we're going to be north of 20, or south of 20, I guess I should say. But I think we'll be 20, 22, somewhere right in there.
Yeah, and that's about average of what it's been over the past 5 years.
It
well,
is.
4 years because we haven't finished yet.
Right. Yeah, it's usually between that 18 and I think 22, 23 mark. So, And it always seems we get one day of a little bit more challenging conditions bringing by the weather, and then we've got some good days of scoring opportunities. So greens are running a little bit faster today, so that changes it a little bit. But as we said earlier, this is their profession and what they do, and they'll be ready.
So for amateurs, the greens today would be not unplayable, but a real challenge. For these guys, they like the fast greens.
They do. So we're in the mid 13s today, and that's with a little bit of breeze yet today.
Yeah.
They'll get a little bit faster from here. So
all right, director of golf, you play all the courses. You've got 6. Deer Creek is where we have the tournament. When you go around, are you amazed at how these guys here on the Korn Ferry Tour play this golf course to the degree that they play it, compared to how you play it or your members play it?
It's a different game. It's a different game from when you watch how they practice. You can see that they're hitting a ball into areas so precise. And, we talk about, the distance and the length of the game and how much shorter the game's gotten because of how far players now hit it. They do that, but they also hit it exactly where they want it. And we talk a lot about, from the agronomic side, and, our team is out every evening after play repairing divots, and they're repairing divots in places that we don't ever repair divots, right? They're in a whole different part of the golf course.
They're hitting from parts of the golf course that I would never be.
Exactly right.
Well, I would. It'd probably be at least 1 or 2 shots away from where they are.
Second or third shot.
Yeah,
spots.
exactly. But a gorgeous golf course. As I said, you're going to have some great weather this afternoon. But some of our listeners may not be familiar with the landings. Here we're at Deer Creek. This is your premier course, obviously, where we're having the tournament today. Tell us a little bit more about the other golf courses.
Sure. So the Landings Club, as you mentioned, we've got 6 golf courses here, and variety of architects. We just did a great renovation last year on our Magnolia golf course. 2 of the Palmer designs, early Palmer designs. We had the Arnold Palmer Design Company in doing a renovation on our Magnolia course. So we've got our Marshwood campus that has 36 holes, both Palmers. We've got our Palmetto campus that's got 2 Arthur Hills golf courses there. And, just all very different, a variety of golf. All of our golf courses, with the exception of the Magnolia golf course, have a marsh view. And, they give the membership something different everywhere they go. But we maintain all the golf courses at the same high quality, and we're a busy club. We've got a lot of members that play a lot of golf, and that's a sign that they're enjoying what they're doing out there.
I've always heard that the Landings has one of the largest women golf associations or members in this area, maybe in more areas than just around here.
Yeah, for a while, and I think it's changed before I arrived to the club. Historically, our 9-hole ladies and our 18-hole ladies were all in one association. Since then, just from a variety of social golf versus competition golf, they've split. But prior to that change of having a 9-hole association, 18-hole association, we were the second largest women's golf association behind the LPGA. So very active. About 50% of our play is played by women. It's very split, which is unusual in the private club world, right? It's traditionally a little more higher percentage on the male side, but we're split 50-50, and we do some of the biggest events we have all year are our ladies driven and organized events. And
I know a lot of your members who play all your courses all the time love to come out and watch and see how these pros, even during bad weather, they like to see how they're going to play their golf course. But I know they marvel at the way that these guys can dissect a golf course and post up these scores.
It's we mentioned it's a different game when they play, right, that we can relate to. But what's so great, I think, about the Korn Ferry Tour and the developmental going towards the PGA Tour is the engagement that those members have. So while they're out here watching, they're making fan favorites and they're talking with them on the range, and just makes it an enjoyable experience for them to root for.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite courses in the area, southeast area. I love it. We've got some guys now coming up 18 and finishing off his day. Probably doesn't like his position that he's in, but hey, he made the cut. He's in a Korn Ferry event, and here he comes up, hitting his third shot into a par 5.
Yeah, he did a good layup right there, and he's left himself in a real a position here to score. He's got a short club, looks like probably a short wedge in his hand, and would anticipate something here getting pretty close.
Well, we'll find out here in just a minute, but we got to take a break, and we're going to be back with Scott Justman. It is close. We're going to be back with Scott Justman, Director of Golf here at the Landings on the Back Nine Boys Golf Show. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Hi, this is Nick Faldo, and you are listening to Back Nine Boys Golf Show.
Hey, welcome back. We're on the Back Nine Boys Golf Show. We are live here at the Landings, the Club Car Championship in Savannah. We're at the Club Car Suite overlooking the 18th hole. We want to thank Club Car for not only sponsoring this event, also our show, but also letting us sit out here at their suite by the 18th. And we're here with Scott Justman, the Director of Golf at the Landings for their 6 courses. And we just saw Sam Saunders, Arnold Palmer's grandson, finish, and you and I both looked at his start time. And how long did it take him?
Well, he teed off at 7:14. It's 8:52. So I was wondering why he was sprinting down, but I guess there was a desire to finish pretty quickly.
My gosh,
there. So
that is.
I think our walking score volunteer didn't expect to have a whole free day today. So
he can go out and help somebody else.
Exactly
now.
Right.
That was neat. Yeah, Sam was it was interesting. We were watching just before the break him hitting a shot into the green on a par 5. He hit it probably 10, 15 feet. And then he ran up to it, or wonder why is he running? And then he just 2-putted and packed his bag, and he's obviously going somewhere.
Yeah, catching a flight on to work on the game for the next event. So
yeah,
made the cut, but obviously finishing it this time wasn't probably his most desirable. But like you said, made the cut, and still playing some great golf.
And if you haven't checked, the leaders at 15 got 2 tied at 14, and they're teeing off a little bit later this afternoon. So it'll be a 5:30, 6 o'clock finish probably. But we want to go back and talk a little bit about the residents here at the Landing offering housing opportunities for some of the players.
Yeah, it's exciting to have it back. There was a pause there naturally due to COVID in the last couple of years, but we're back full swing, and it's one of the things that I think our members really love about this event. And I think it's, you mentioned earlier about how the players, many of our players have said how much they love attending this event. Well, there's a number of reasons, and I think one is that development, the relationships they develop with our member owners, and many that are gracious to host them, their caddies, just having them around the community. We talked earlier about the players using some of the other amenities around our club. That's what brings these members out to cheer on these players. They create relationships, they create friendships, they create players that return year after year. They reach out to the same families and get to know each other.
And the neat thing about it is, you say they, reach out and they become friendships, but they also begin or still follow them during their year and send them notes. And I'm sure there's text back and forth. And really that becomes kind of cool when they can go around and say, yeah, I was talking to Ryan Blum and he stayed at our house, and, he's now playing in this tournament and he's winning here. And it's kind of a cool thing.
We'll look at some of our past champions, or we'll call, Club Car Championship alumni. You've got Sam Burns as the Ruggle. You've got members that house Sam.
Yeah.
You've got Scotty Scheffler, right, who took second in 2019.
Yeah.
You've got members here that house Scotty and his group, and here he was and some of the top of the game right now. So it's exciting. We use a little bit of a tagline, right? Landing on tour at the Landings Club, because
cool.
We're fortunate to host the Sam Burns Classic and AJGA Tour event, and then with this, the Club Car Championship at the Landings Club, and the final stage of Korn Ferry Tour qualifying school. Most players right now, you've played a golf course at the Landings Club, if you've landed on tour.
And isn't it kind of cool, as you say, landing on tour? You see a Sam Burns, a winner. Scotty Scheffler placed second. Now he's number one in the world. That transition from the Korn Ferry Tour to the PGA Tour, some of the guys don't make it, and they don't make what they think they're going to do when they get there. But these guys have excelled.
It's really such a developmental tour that they've been able to create, and I know, kudos to PGA Tour for their vision in that, where so many players were going directly to the PGA Tour in the former way that qualifying school worked, in other ways, and learning how to manage your schedule and managing endorsement deals and managing those items. It's a challenge, but now working their way through the Korn Ferry Tour, they're ready to go and to succeed, and you're seeing that with the rankings right now.
Well, over the last several years, and this has been just looking at the range, the body style of these golfers, there's no more Craig Stadlers. Well, there might be, but not on this tour. But these kids come out of school, go into high school ready to play. They're out of high school going into college ready to play. And out of college, not only are they ready, they're mentally and physically, and their game is they can actually go out and win.
Absolutely.
It's amazing to me.
Being able to play the game and then being able to now adapt to all the different, pulls and stresses and relationships. It's complex, but their game, they're sharp as they'll ever be.
And one of the things, when I've talked to a former guy that played in college, exceptional career, not as much success on the PGA Tour, Korn Ferry Tour, decided to give it up. He just said, it wasn't any fun for me anymore. Sometimes that happens.
It does. It's a lot of travel. You're away from your family. It's a lot of stress, a lot of burdens, but it's like probably any career, right? There's a lot of positives, negatives. You got a way that fits your family and such best.
And probably your performance has a lot to do with that. If you're winning or have a chance to make some cuts or have a chance to elevate yourself to a different tour or stay on that tour, that makes a big difference in some of your decisions.
Absolutely. These guys are good. That's what they say.
Yeah. And right. This is the landings for the tour, right? Did I get that right?
You got it.
Okay. Scott Justman, thank you for being with us again. It's always a pleasure to come up here and be with you guys. And we just appreciate your time.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
All right.
Enjoy
Scott
the rest of the
Justman.
day.
Yes, sir. Scott Justman, Director of Golf. We had a chance to talk with Mark Raquel, VP of Sales with Club Car, and Cheyenne Overby, the Tournament Director. We can't thank you all for not having us here at the Landings, the Club Car Championship.